low prop usage for these practices right now, because I know everyone doesn't have a lot of props, but it's a good time to do that. Look, somebody's got their yummy bolster. So bolster, blankets. I don't even have a blanket today. I'm just gonna let you do mat only practice and do the best you can. Most importantly is to make yourself comfortable. So whatever you can grab around the house and be super supported. And we're just gonna let our bodies support us as well. So what I would like to do today is, I thought I'd start with a pretty slow practice, a little yin, which is the feminine side of yoga. And I think that's what all this is taking us into, is more of a feminine acceptance, full awareness of what's happening on a planetary level. So we'll have some deep dive into our body, and then we'll do some movement along the way and some strength work that will also, when you build the strength in your body, you can feel that strength in your emotional body as well. We're all connected. So we build our physical strength in order to build our emotional strength. All right, Jimmy's here. Natalie, I saw you earlier. Michelle Haversack. All right, good. We're going. So we had about 65 people signed up for the call today. So fun to see people that I've been missing from afar and also near. Kenna Lee from Utah, nice. Must be a friend of Kimmy's maybe. And we will begin with some breathing. So a seated position while everybody's getting settled, a seated position. And I'm gonna switch my view here. And everybody's muted. So I'm gonna change my position so you can see what's happening. So you want to be really comfortable in your seat, which means to support yourself however you need. And that means you might want to put a blanket under your hips. I like my bolster for the way back here. And so I just sit up, and an important thing, yesterday we did a posture class. Most important thing is you have a lumbar curve. So if you're sitting on the ground like this, that's not good. You want to put something, blankets, bolsters, pillows. You can even sit on a couch for a moment so we can do some pranayama. So get yourself comfortable. And thank you all for being here. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about resilience throughout this practice. So dropping in, let's just roll the shoulders out a little bit, and the neck, just move around in any way that feels comfortable. A lot of times just creating that really sweet, intimate relationship with your own precious human body. That's what we're here to do, take care of ourselves. One of the key skills of resilience is self-care practices. So namaste, everyone. I'm so glad you're here taking care of yourself. So let's settle our hips. You want to be aware of the sensation underneath your hips and drop in. Again, you don't have to sit cross-legged, sit in any way that's comfortable so you're not distracted. Close your eyes and just start to take a little inventory of your whole body. And make little shifts and arrangements until you really feel that sense of settling, kind of like a jar full of glitter that's been shaken, and all the glitter is now falling down to the bottom because the jar has been set down and it's still. So I'd like you to just let the glitter within you settle down deep inside. Down into the bowl of your pelvis. So imagine the bowl of your pelvis filled with glitter as it just gently tumbles down and settles. And then take deep breaths in and let it go out through the mouth. And again, a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And one more time, I'd like you to make a little bit of a sound when you do that because that helps release your nervous system. Let go. Ah. And let your lips touch softly. And relax your jaw. Again, check in if anything needs to move a little bit. Avoid any rigidity. Let yourself be supple. Settling, again, that bowl full of glitter, your pelvic bowl, all the glitter. Just slowly sinking down into that bowl. And let your lips touch so you can breathe gently through your nostrils. Soften your eyes. Eyes are closed, or if it feels right, you can just glance off the tip of your nose. You don't need to see me or anything, really. Just drop in. What you want to see is what's inside your own being, inside your own heart. And taking some deep breaths into your body, I'd like you to note how it feels when you silently say to yourself, I am resilient. And how does that echo for you? How does that resonate for you? I am resilient. Just keep feeling into that. That's your mantra today. And I'd like to share a little bit about that as you just sit and breathe and listen. So what makes a person resilient? Resilient people are aware of situations. Resilient people are aware of their own emotional reactions and the behavior of those around them. By remaining aware, resilient people maintain a sense of control and think of new ways to tackle problems. A very important characteristic of resilience is the understanding that life is full of changes. Resilient people do not let adversity define them. They find resilience by moving towards a goal beyond themselves, transcending difficulties by perceiving hard times as temporary states of affairs. At the heart of resilience is a belief in yourself and also a belief in something greater than yourself. So breathe into these ideas of resilience within you and that connection to that which is outside of you, that universal consciousness. And breathe into that. And then to further bring balance to our mind, our body, our energy, and those qualities within us that represent our masculine and feminine self, our strength, our focus, our softness, our creativity. Practice a little Nadi Shodhana, which is called alternate nostril breathing in English. Nadis are the energy channels within our body. And so the energy channels within our body, they say there's 72,000 of them. That's a lot of energy channels. So allow yourself to feel the energy within you. It might feel like a warmth or a coolness, a tingling, a wave, whatever you recognize as your energy body. And Shodhana is to cleanse. So we're going to cleanse our energy body and settle in. So if you're not aware of this practice, you'll open your eyes and you're going to make a little peace sign with your right hand. And put your two fingers together and place those fingers up at your forehead. I'm actually going to come closer. Up at your forehead, right at your third eye. And then you'll take your ring finger just above the crease, not down low, that can be irritating, right up above the crease, and then your thumb on the other side. And you might even cup your elbow if your arm gets tired. We're not going to stay too long, it should be just comfortable. But if you press into that third eye center, that's going to help hold your arm up. And then go ahead and exhale all your breath. Close off the right nostril with your thumb and breathe in through the left nostril only. And now pause, closing off both. Hold that fullness and then exhale through the right nostril. Inhale, same side. And then pause in that stillness, the fullness within you. And when your body prompts you, exhale left side. Inhale, same side. Pause. So you know the pattern. I'd like you to continue on your own for several rounds and let yourself hold that fullness only until your body prompts you to release, releasing the opposite side. Inhale, same side. And continue. Bringing balance to body and mind. Breathing into your resilience, into your gracefulness. I am resilient. Breathing in, breathing out. Allow yourself 3 more rounds, so counting your inhalation. You'll take 3 more inhalations as you go back and forth. After that third inhalation, you'll pause the breath and then release the hand. And when the body prompts you, let go the breath through both nostrils. And then gently open your eyes and continue breathing gently, deeply, and evenly. And you're going to take your legs out and stretch them out. Give your knees a little rub. It's always good to love your knees. And so this development of resilience has to do with taking care of ourselves, right? We know we can take care of ourselves. That's the one thing we can do. And so moving our bodies every day, drinking plenty of warm water, getting a good night's sleep, on eating very delicious, nutritious, may I say organic foods to feed your body well. And those are the basic structures of a healthy living. And so here we are, and we're going to also cover some of the other aspects of resiliency. And the first one, I found this wonderful list of 10 things that help with resiliency. I'm going to talk to those as we move. Okay? So right now we're going to start with this pose called Baddha Konasana. Bring your feet out in front of you, your toes together, soles of your feet together. Your knees drop. And now you don't have to bring them way up high. You can choose the distance between your heels. If you have a block or the bolster, you could sit on that. That feels a little better to me these days. And we just drop. And so the intention behind a yin practice is very slow. We're going to feel sensation. And then we're going to gently drop in by letting your body round. And support yourself with your hands either on your feet. If your knees are high, you might put your arms on your elbows. It's very different than dog and lots of structure. This is just kind of ooey gooey dropping into your body. And you're going to feel sensation will come right up against your edge of resistance, wherever that is for you, whether it's in your hips or your back. You want to feel safe. That you drop into that point of sensation, and then you stay there, and you commit, and you breathe, and you feel. So find a way you can just drop in, let your belly go soft, let your head hang, let your shoulders relax, feel into your hips, and breathe. Come back to that deep, even breath that Nadi Shodhana gave you. Continuing with that practice of holding the inhalation for several counts. So you fill yourself up and hold and then release without force or strain. And then here in this pose, which you're going to be in for another minute, is you'll also focus on holding the breath, pausing the breath. It's not so much a holding, but just a pausing on the exhalation. So the next time you release your breath all the way, just pause in that emptiness, that empty space. And then when your body prompts you, this is a practice in deep listening, your body prompts you, take another deep breath and continue. Knowing that one of the primary ways we can develop resilience in ourselves is knowing our boundaries. Knowing our boundaries, we have some new boundaries in our life right now, boundaries we're not used to. And so just notice your relationship with boundaries. Do they feel safe or do they feel confining? Here we are in our body, we're meeting our boundaries. So are you meeting them with grace and ease? Or do you feel a little resistance, a little conflict? Come back to your breath. Know that we just have a few more moments here. And you're allowing your soft tissues, your ligaments, your joints, your fascia, to be gently awakened. One more breath. And then as we start to come out, I want you to come up as slow as you can. So like a snail pace, slowly bringing yourself up out of those hips. And you're going to help your knees together. Might do a little movement. I'm just going to move my block out of the way. You can lean back, do a little, we call windshield wipers. Loosen them up. Yeah. Lots in the hips. So the next one's going to be similar but different. We're going to take our legs wide apart. And what I'd like you to feel is that you're on your sitting bones so that you're lifting your lower back. So bend your knees as much as you need to do that. Take your arms on the inside legs and push your elbows into your knees and your knees into your elbows. So we're going to start with a little bit of resistance, and then we're going to go into ease. So just feel that. Have a nice stretch in that way. And then some of you that have more openness in your hamstrings, you can start to take your legs out further. You don't have to have your knees bent as much, and lean forward a little bit. And then some of you that don't have much resistance in your hamstring could actually straighten the legs out all the way. So 1, 2, or 3, do what feels right for you, right? And then you're going to drop your chin and just start to slowly melt your upper back. So you're going to feel that opening across the shoulders. Feel into it. Shift around a little bit. You're exploring. Be curious.
So again, knees are bent or straight. Find your just right place, and you're just gonna hang. This is hanging out, literally. Hanging in your body,
dropping in. Some of you might get your elbows to the floor. If you have props, I noticed some of you had bolsters. You could place a bolster under your head and go this way. So be creative, find your way in, and we're going to stay for a couple of minutes. And this is how we build resistance. No resistance. This is how we build resilience. So we're dropping in, and we're finding that edge. So find that edge of sensation. You want to go in there. This is really for your joints. And as we drop into the joints, we're actually giving enough stress on them that they're going to strengthen those connective tissues. Not just encourage opening, but strengthening. So keep tapping into your breath. You don't have to be completely still, but you want to be quiet. Quiet in your body, quiet in your mind. Feel that breath coming in and out. Surrender. Notice how it feels to be still with yourself, to be in this place of the witness, to truly listen and explore with each breath. So another aspect of resilience is cultivating awareness, so we can be aware of the responses in our body, mind, and heart moment by moment. And when we remain aware, we have that choice to be more responsive rather than reactionary. So if you're coming up against some resistance in your body, notice. Can you breathe deep and respond? One more breath here. Or let's say 3 more. I want to warn you about it. 3 more breaths, just dropping into whatever sensations are arising. What's your body telling you? And then you'll place your hands wherever you can for support. And again, slowly, slowly come up out of that form. Bring your legs in. Bring them together. And just draw back. And then open these and pull your chest forward. Squeeze those back muscles. And then flare the elbows and open the space between the shoulder blades. And then squeeze them back together. Notice my knees are going in and out. So you make room for your torso to come forward. Exhale. And inhale. I keep thinking I have my microphone on and I'm used to talking in that when I record. So I'm looking forward to having that next week so you can really hear me. So I'm really hoping you can hear my voice enough today. Thank you for your patience. Let's come on onto all fours. Backing up here. Now, when you come into an all fours position, I do teach this a little bit differently than most, although my teachers taught me this too. Bring your hands forward of your shoulders, not right under your shoulder. You'll never get your wrist off the ground. Bring them forward, spread your fingers, and your hand, I'd say if you have, hopefully you have a yoga mat, your fingers go, your little fingers out to the very edge of the yoga mat. You have lots of space between your arms. And then we can start to sink our heart. And let's do a little, what I call flossing at the shoulders, or we call it lately the gecko pose, gecko asana. And Shara's in Kauai right now, so she's seen a lot of geckos. This is what they do. So what we're doing is dropping the chest and lifting the chest. We're not bending the elbows. We're not moving the spine, just right in the shoulder girdle. back and forth. So this is flossing those tendons and ligaments in your shoulders. And then we're going to sink the heart, keeping the arms steady and strong. Feel the shoulder blades together. Put your head wherever your neck is comfortable. And then let the rest of your spine start to sink the space between the tips of the shoulder blades. You can really actually just let your belly hang right now. Isn't that a nice permission? Just drop and feel. I also have to call this hammock pose. You're letting your whole spine melt while keeping the structure of your strong legs and your strong arms. You're going deep into your spinal column and letting those little spaces between the vertebrae be touched. This also brings the bones closer together. And when the bones touch, they put enough pressure on those bones to strengthen them. So building resilience in our skeletal structure. We're still here, the same pose. So if any of you are vinyasa junkies, welcome to the practice of stillness. And notice what it offers today. If we do something here today and you're thinking, oh, that's not the way I do it, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What can I learn from this? There's always something to learn. We're in a big learning curve right now on a planetary level, so we might as well be there on a personal level. The third aspect of building resilience is keeping good company. So thank you all for being here, being in good company with those that are proactive about recognizing what we can do.
Can you stop for a second?
Pardon?
Because my mom is just going out there.
Okay, we're going to be right here.
Okay.
Round the back like this. Now we're rounding, pulling the belly to the spine. And we're going to be that cat. And then taking the toes under is what I recommend. So you can pull back, stretch the toes, just notice where your body wants to go. Take your time. And reach out, bring your fingertips to your hips. Feel the side body. Relax your belly. Take some deep breaths. Let go. And then lifting your head, pull yourself forward once again and open the chest and let the spine drop. And then round the back and pull back again. This time, watch, lift the heel of your hands up and press through the wrist joint because we've been on the wrist. Now give them their opposite sensation. And then plant the hands and lift. Okay. And now stay upright and just pull the belly in. I want you to feel yourself really drawing in. So now we're going more towards a little bit of yang. We're going to add a little more action. And then we're going to soften, but as we come down this time, keep the tone in your belly. Exhale, scoop it up, front body lifting. And then as you come down, keep the front body toned so you won't be hanging anymore. You're moving into what we call extension and flexion. Here's flexion, and then extension. Oh, never underestimate the power of cat-cow. It's so good for our spines. And then we're going to find neutral. So there's extension. You're going to pull your front ribs in and neutralize your spine. Squeeze your legs towards each other, even though they're hip distance apart. And then start to come forward, hugging your legs towards each other, keeping your belly tucked in, and really bringing those front ribs in. And then take it back and bring your bottom up and stretch way back into your shoulder girdle. Notice what's happening there. And repeat. So come up, lift the front ribs, bring it forward. Squeeze your glutes, hug your legs towards each other, hug your arms towards each other, bring everything towards midline. And then lift from the belly and bottoms up to the back. One more time, take it out. Now this time, pulling forward. Notice where your hands are. Okay, some of you, let's bring the hips back a little bit easy for you. You're gonna take your elbows to the floor and turn your palms up and curl your wrists in. Give your wrists a break. Whenever energy gets caught up in one area, you're gonna give it a release. Okay, and then interlace your fingers and do the same thing we did with that cat-cow, is pull those front ribs up. Hug your legs towards each other as if you're holding a block between your thighs, and then pull forward until your weight's right over your forearms. Your chest is between your forearms. Now walk your knees back a little bit. And again, pull the front ribs in. Hug everything together and shift your weight slightly forward. Now you should be feeling your abdominal wall at this point. Now hug your elbows and your knees towards each other. Squeeze it in. Squeeze the legs together. Squeeze your gluteus maximus maximally. Press into the earth. Hug it all together. Let's stay for 5 more breaths. If you need to release, come down and then come back up. We're building resilience. One more breath. Now with your exhalation, lower your pelvis. Spread your fingers out. Bring them a little bit more forward of your shoulders, your elbows. And then push your feet into the ground. Push your knees into the ground. Press your pelvis into the floor. Press your forearms into the floor. And then pull your arm bones back isometrically and let your chest open. Now lengthen the abdomen. Kind of move it around a little bit in there. And great. Be aware of your strength. And then slide your hands closer to you again. We're going to repeat it. Bring your elbows right under your shoulders. Interlace your fingers. Bring your feet close, your legs close together this time. Pushing into your elbows. So we're starting out with our legs nice and long. Tuck your toes under if you can. Push into your knees and push into your forearms, and then lift your belly like you're going to try and do a cat pose. Pull it up. And that's great. Let's hang out here for a little bit. Different kind of hanging out. Resiliency. Hug your elbows towards your knees. And then an option for some of you is then to take the knees off the floor. Don't stick your bottom up in the air. You got to keep that down and scoop up your belly. And then lift your head. Let it be light. Head like a balloon. And great. So the option, knees to the ground or up. This is the best way to strengthen your core. You can even move around a little bit. But you're really strengthening all 4 layers of your abdominal wall. It's great done from the knees. It's just as effective. Let's take 3 more breaths. Stay. And I like to work at staying here for a couple of minutes. We'll probably continue with this in all the classes. It's springtime. It's time to wake up, buck up, get strong. Feel your breath. And then slowly release. Bring your feet a little farther apart. Put some space between them. Draw your arms out. Pull your belly forward. And then we're going to bring our arms in and rest your head. Breathe deeply into your back body. Feel what you've awakened. Your heart might be beating. That's a wonderful thing, beating a little faster. Let it settle down. So the 5th practice of resiliency is self-care habits. So here we are, taking care of ourselves. Knowing our boundaries, keeping good company, cultivating self-awareness, and having self-care habits. So habits means a regular practice. Give yourself one more breath here. And then lift your head. Bring your hands next to your heart. And then step them wide from your body. Not right next to you, but out wide. You can put your head on the floor if you want, okay? And then lifting from your shoulders, feel your shoulder blades squeeze together, and then bring it all down. Now we're strengthening the back body. Strengthen the front, now the back. So you could just lift the arms and leave the head down, or bring it all up together. And now pause with the arms up. Try and get the elbows and the wrists level to the floor, so your elbows aren't lifting. Lift it all up, and then pull everything towards midline. Feel your muscles hugging the bones, squeezing the arms, the back, and now the legs. And maybe the legs come off the floor. You can even bend the knees a little. And I like to pretend that I jumped out of an airplane and I'm flying through the air with the greatest of ease. Let that back body support you. Deep, full breaths. And then gently landing. Putting your head to one side. Let go. So the practice of yoga, hatha yoga, which are our postures, our breath, our inner reflection, it's all about that balance of effort and ease. And after good effort, ease is so rewarding. Let's turn your head to the other side. Now lift your head up, place your hands near your heart again, but very close. Press into your knees and hug in. That same idea of trying to lift your belly and ribs off the floor and then push down to lift up. All right. Nice. And give yourself a little wiggle. Now we're going to go into the hips a little bit. So I'll turn this way and take your hands to the side so you can bring a leg up. Bring a leg up. Okay. And you want this leg to be fairly hip distance apart. You could turn your toes out a little bit. And we're going to bring our hands back to the ground. And then you want to take the hips, so this hip's going way out. That's typical. It's following the foot. And then we're going to lengthen. Pull your hip back behind your foot. And then lean into it and feel what you're doing in that front hip. So this foot, if this knee's turned out, turn your toes out too. See if your knee, you want your kneecap always facing your second and third toe. So if your foot's forward, your knee's pulled in. Okay. And then you can pull your hips back by your back foot. And that knee, you want to track it in line with those toes. Okay. So again, if you want to go wider, you'll turn the toes out, and that works too. So play around with that. I'm going to turn this way so you can see. And the back leg is getting a stretch. So lift from the sitting bones. Call this lunge rock. Coming in and back. And then we're going to come and hold. Okay, not your typical asana today. We're moving more fluidly and easing in because we want to settle. We all need to settle, don't we? Because life has been a little unsettling. So we want our practice to be a balancing for whatever we're experiencing day to day. So we're just feeling into those hips, trying on. There's all kinds of sensations. Some of you might be comfortable. If you have a block, you can put a block down and put your forearm on the block. I like to take my other hand on my leg. So stay a bit longer at this place. Some of you might be comfortable taking both elbows down. That's a lot on the hips. So find your way in. So another aspect of resiliency is getting out of your own head. And so that's what this practice is about today, is just really feeling into your body. Let your body guide you to those just right places. You can always come back at any time and release. So where's your body guiding you to go today? Where does it want to open? Where is it resisting? And then come back, everybody, hips over the back knee. Walk your hands a little closer, and then that makes it easier to bring the foot back. Take the hips both towards the heels, and again, pop the heel of the hand up, scoop the belly. And we have another leg. So move your hands to the side, shift your leg up, pull forward, and you want to see this alignment too. Your knee goes right over your ankle, not in front of. So get that foot up there. Aligning your joints. Arms are on the inside today. You take your foot to the side, and the hip will come out. So pull the hip back and draw into the hips. So feel around, might even circle a little bit, bring that feminine, divine energy in. Be creative. And then find some places to settle too, to let your body settle again. The block is kind of nice. I like to put my hand here so I can really push my torso away and then sink the hips. Notice what's happening throughout your whole body. So keep scanning, feeling, and responding. This is our practice in graceful response to what we're feeling. What's really happening in this moment? And then everybody will bring their hips back over the back knee. We'll be together here and take the legs back. Come into that all fours position. We're going to curl the toes under. Come into your hammock back again. So you're arching, but instead of hanging the belly, let's tone the belly. And then we're going to pull the knees off the floor, and they're super bent. And pushing into your hands. Keep the legs bent, keep those knees bent, and pull the bottom up. Push into your hands, straighten your arms, hug them toward each other, and then let one knee straighten and the other one stay bent. So walk the dog, and let that breath flow. So the more you're crouched, the easier it is on the upper body. And now you're getting a nice stretch through the foot, the sole of the foot, and the calf. And then let both heels come high, bottoms up, hug the front ribs in, and then begin to open the legs up. Your legs may not straighten, that's okay. What we don't want is your back rounded. Keep that lumbar curve. And breathe for 3 deep breaths. Come down center if you need to. Then releasing the knees. Oh, that's a little inversion. Shake it out. Okay, I'm going to walk forward because we're going to stand on our knees. Okay. Some of you might want a blanket under your knees depending on the surface that you're on. And so notice how this feels. And you want your knees to be hip distance apart. So we're going to do a little pose called the gate. And then that's going to lead into one other little strength work. And then we're going to wind back down and do some ease. But we're here building resilience. So you're taking the time to really build strength in your body so you can feel strong in your mind and emotions. Hands on hips. Okay. And then right here where the hip and the thigh, the pelvis and the thigh come together, you're going to hinge right there. Bottom goes back. Fingertips on the floor, and right from there, you're going to take your leg out to the side. Take one leg out. Now, you can decide where those toes point. You just want the whole foot on the floor. Push into that foot, walk closer to your legs, and stand up again. This is a gate pose. I don't know why it's called gate. Like, I always think of a picket fence gate, and it has that little Z bar, so that's what you're gonna become. So you're pushing down, okay? Some of you could put the toe out, so wherever it's comfortable. And then we're gonna just gently allow the spine to curve. So a little lateral flexion. Feel all this opening on this side. Push down into both feet, the shin on one side, the foot on the other, and just let your side body open. And then you've got choices with this other arm. Reach it out to the side and move this shoulder back, chest wide open. Turn your palm and bicep to the sky. Notice how that feels. Move from your shoulder. And if it's okay for your shoulder, take the arm up. Maybe just at an angle. Really stretch out of that side hip. If you'd like, maybe take the hand to the head. I like to do this because then it supports my neck. I can even lift my head a little, but really pull the elbow up to the sky. And breathe into this whole side body. Roll the chest open. Make sure your neck is at ease. And a few of you, if you've got it in you, you can take the top arm and stretch it out. And maybe go a little deeper bit, but maybe not, right? Just depends on your experience here. What's your body feeling today? Now reach it out and take it up and over if you've got your top arm up. And let that pull you back up to center. Now you're going to do that hinge again at your hips. Pull forward and put your left arm out to the side. Okay, so now you're going to take this bottom leg and turn it in. So now if you look down your body, you have your foot, both feet, your knee, and your hand in one line. And then put your top hand on your hip. Push down into that arm so you're really holding yourself up. And roll the chest open. And then take your top arm up and reach. And then that's probably the pose for many of you. But if you can keep reaching up and pushing into your straight leg, foot, and your arm, you might be able to unweight that lower leg, cross your feet, and squeeze your legs together. And come into a side arm bounce. Not for everyone, this is fine. Find your way in. So considering all possibilities, this is part of resilience. What is possible for you today? And then we're going to release and face this direction. Take the hips back. And again, you got to release that wrist, right? So pop the heel of the hand up. So I know this is a lot of the wrist today, but it's really important because the wrist is one of the most commonly broken bones, especially in people over the age of 50, because our bones, if we don't stress them, they get weak. So know that you are building resiliency in your wrists. Come back up, standing, right? And turn back around, take the other foot out to the side. And so take a moment to line that up. You want your foot lined up with your knee. And then we're turning our pelvis forward. That might even be quite a bit of a stretch for some of you. Try and get this hip right over the knee too. Then the arm comes down. Chest stays open. Reach the arm out or keep it on the hip. And then start to bend, just side bending. Feel how you're squeezing one side of your spine deep inside and all those organs on that side. And opening the other. And then this hand could even come this way, reach it up. Maybe to your head, holding the head. I like to hold the head because then I can even reach up a little, let my arm move back. Feel it in the shoulder girdle chest. Drop it in. So again, consider all possibilities and do what's possible for you. No comparison, no judgment, just an opportunity to recognize what your body can do today and make it feel good so that you come away feeling energized and emotionally replenished. Maybe stretch the arm out. See, now I'm a lot more open on this side. No, it's always kind of fun to have a comparison on your own body. When you're ready, come out slowly. Notice the releasing of the pose. It's just as important. You're going to hinge at your hips. Walk your hands over to the side. Line your hand up. You can even put it a little bit behind and spin that bottom foot in. So you're lining up foot and knee. And actually your hand can go slightly to the right of that knee. Take the hand to the hip. And then this is just a great balance. Some people like to balance more on this lower leg and bring this leg up. Play. You don't have to do what I'm doing. Just, this is a suggestion. I'm falling over. You can fall over if you want. Falling over is a great thing to do because then we learn how to pick ourselves back up. So push into the foot, push into the hand, lift the side body, and then you're coming from your core. All that work we did in the front body to strengthen the back body, now we're strengthening the side body. Maybe bring the knee up, maybe just barely bring it up, play. If they come together, squeeze them tight and lift. Whoa! And fall. See? No worry, no injury on the court. Just playing what is possible. Breathing into that big opening. Then we'll bring the arm down, pull it around. We're not getting off the floor today, you might have noticed that. We're going to draw back, release the wrist joint, scoop in the belly, breathe. All right, now come over onto your bottom. Give your knees a break. Give a little love. So when you sit on the floor, if you have a lot of roundness in your back, put a little blanket. Some of you might even need something this big. But blankets work, home practice, and that'll help you fall forward. Now we're just going to take one leg up like this. The other leg can be straight. If you have really tight hamstrings, you can bend this knee in. So you have lots of options with the lower body. What we want is the spine upright. That's a non-negotiable. The legs you can play with. So bent or straight. And then bringing one hand to your hip. We're going to do this little sexy shoulder roll. And roll that shoulder back. So now your chest is wide open. Same thing with this shoulder. Lift the heart, plant the hips. And then gently twist the spine from the core. So you're not pulling back. Don't put your hand down and pull yourself into it. Move from your core. Let your spinal muscles do the work, including your neck. Just turn gently into that first point of resistance. Again, right? Know your boundaries. Then once you're there, you can put your hand on the floor. And then you have some options with this front arm. You can leave it where it is, or you might bring your elbow to the knee, do a little mudra, mudra-size your hand, and then just breathe and hold that deep inner hug. So twisting gently, I like to pulsate, so I squeeze in as I exhale, gently release upon inhale, feel into that. I hope you're staying with me. It's tricky being at home, there can be distractions, but allowing yourself this time, you will be rewarded all day long. Your energy will be flowing, your body will feel vibrant, your mind will be more focused, and your heart will be more open. So take 3 more breaths here, giving yourself that deep inner hug. And sense of gratitude for gifting yourself these self-care practices. Your best healthcare. Now slowly release first the head, looking over the front shoulder. Feel that you can wake up in your neck there. And release it all. Bring both feet to the floor. Little cat-cow release. And we have another side. So straighten the leg, hold the shin if you want, bring it under, find what's comfortable, turning. So again, the big shoulder roll, and keep this shoulder back, Collarbones broad, and turn from your core. Take it slow so you really feel every little nuance of sensation. Look over the back shoulder, release the hand perhaps, and feel into all that is awakening. Stay for 3 more breaths. Notice your level of patience today. Drop in. And then slowly the head turns in the opposite direction. And then the whole spine releases. And we come back on all fours so we can crawl around and get a little alignment for your shavasana. We're going to do releases. So whatever props you need, I'm a little prop, not very many props today, but I would recommend if you're near a couch or a chair, it would be really nice to put your feet up on that. Or you can have a block available or a bolster to put under your knees. And so grab your goodies and then come on down to the floor. Okay. So if I were near a couch, I would have my feet on the floor and the couch would be right in front of me. I'll show you. You just get your stuff. Chair works too. But have your feet on the floor because we still have one more little release after all that. Nice work. Building our strength and stamina to build our resilience. When you come to the floor, bring your feet shoulder width apart. Let your head roll gently right to left. Flat, relax your jaw. And then you'll let both knees drop to one side and keep your feet shoulder width apart and pause. So your feet are still shoulder width apart, they're on their edges. You're letting the weight of the legs create this opening in your hip and a little bit of twist in your spine. And if you want to get a little bit more, you can turn your head the opposite direction. Bring that arm up and really pull the tailbone in and get a little extra oomph in your stretch. And then let everything soften. So you're going to release the hip. Now bring just the top leg up and let it naturally pull the bottom leg with it. And then over to the other side. So I always end my practices this way. Those of you that know and practice with me, you know this. Double knee drop, but pause this first time just to notice where your body's being touched. And then we're going to do a little flow because we want to slowly allow our bodies to recognize the sensation of ease and effortlessness. So Hatha Yoga, all of our asanas and breath control and focusing our mind takes a bit of effort. And Hatha Yoga is a yoga of effort. Right effort. And so as you move back and forth, now we're moving towards effortlessness. So nice, easy, fluid motion. Back to the feminine qualities of the practice. Take your time. So many times we're in a hurry. We're not in a hurry in yoga. So notice the willingness to repeat. And then gently come into center, both knees up. Be honest with yourself. Is there anything else you need? Maybe some of you want to stretch your back or give yourself a little lift of your hips. And then you're going to settle. So if you have a couch or a chair, this is a wonderful soothing position for your nervous system. If you don't have a chair, this will do, as long as your back and your spine feels comfortable. Or put something underneath your knees. And I'm going to come back here to guide you into relaxation. So make yourself comfortable. If you have an eye pillow, put that on. If you have an extra blanket, put an extra blanket over you. This is so important to really nurture yourself. And so one of the many ways of building our resilience is to be willing to sit in silence. And so that's what we're doing. Our sitting is laying down today, but to be willing to be still and to simply observe the inner workings of your own mind and body. So I'll take you through a bit of guided relaxation. You may not even hear what I say. That's okay if your mind drifts. That's a wonderful thing. So as you settle in, make those final little adjustments so you can let go and then commit to just being still. And feel your whole body get heavier, sinking your body into the earth, as if the earth were just coming up to meet you and hold you. Be cradled by the earth. Feel the weight of your head sink into your support. Softening the neck, releasing the skin across your scalp, smoothing the forehead, softening the eyes, release the jaw, relax the tongue, lips touch softly, and feel the sensation of the breath tickling the nostrils on the inhalation. And that gentle warmth that releases through your nostrils on the exhalation. Let your ears settle on the gentle oceanic sound of your breath. Breathing in that sense of ease. Let it filtrate through your whole body. Breathing out, recognize your own resilience to respond gracefully to all circumstances that surround you. Breathe in ease. Exhale resilience. The shoulders drop, the arms soften, the fingers release, the palm of your hand relaxed. Let go. Sense the expansion and contraction in your torso. Breathing in ease to your heart and belly. Breathing out, recognizing that core strength of your being that holds you well, holds you safe, strong, resilient. Feel that beautiful balance of your suppleness, your softness, your strength and stability. Feel the weight of the pelvis sinking into the floor, melting away any unnecessary holding. Soft belly. Release down into the legs, releasing from the hips to the knees, knees to the ankles, the softness of the toes. And as you let everything go, we can come back to that very first visualization of being like a jar full of glitter and water. And we settle it all down into our pelvic bowl. And now it's just gently, because we're so soft and floating, the little sparkles of glitter can just gently arise from the pelvis and spread throughout your whole body. Not shaken up, just floating. Beautiful crystal light floating throughout your entire being. That sparkling essence of you. As you rest in that sense of your own self, releasing, relaxing, soothing, let your awareness expand beyond the surface of your own container. Be aware of that connection to all that surrounds you, that interconnectedness between ourself and that greater awareness, our universal consciousness. Perhaps those that are in your home, extending your awareness there. And with that awareness comes your love and that sense of ease and resilience, so you can share it with them. So radiate those feelings. And let that expand beyond your close loved ones to your community. We're so becoming aware of our connection with community. So as you breathe, see your own energy, maybe even those little sparkles of glitter expanding out to your community, bringing with it those feelings of ease and resilience. Share your radiance. And let it move even further still. You're so limitless. Move it from your local community to, let's just embrace this entire country and all that's happening everywhere in similarity, in commonality. And let your radiance expand well beyond your physical body. Let your radiance expand those feelings of ease and resilience until finally it encircles the entire planet, your essence, in a beautiful form of glittering, sparkling energy, encircling this planet with ease and resilience. You are powerful. We are all powerful in everything we think, say, and do, and just be. Just be in this place of ease. Be in your state of resilience. and radiate that. And then notice as you start to, from that expansive place, recognize all the others that are doing exactly the same, that are radiating their true essence back to you. And let yourself pull that in. So draw yourself from that planetary awareness back into your regional awareness, coming closer to your personal community, to your personal home, and into your personal container, your precious human body. And feel the support that's coming in your direction. And breathe that in. Be held. And right here with all of us here today, we can feel that. We come from all different places, different states, different communities, but here we are together today, building each other up, filling each other up with that divine radiance of ease and resilience. You've got this. Do nothing more than deepen your breath. Begin to embody your container once again, fully feeling everything beneath the surface of your skin and what you've done for yourself today and all you shared by all coming together. Begin to gently wiggle or stretch, or squirm around a little bit, feeling sensation once again. And as you begin to reawaken yourself and come into this day, let the benefit of your practice be recognized. What have you done for yourself? What have you brought forth? What have you awakened? And how can this practice serve you for the rest of your day? So slowly bringing yourself to any comfortable seat. Sit nice and tall, lifting the crown of the head towards the sky as you settle your hips on the earth. And then we'll bring our palms together at our heart in Anjali Mudra, the gesture of gratitude and reflecting on that place deep within our heart space. It is the same in each and every one of us. This is our innate connection of love and light and ease and resilience. Let's take a deep breath in, exhale with an H-A-ha sound. Namaste. Thank you everyone for being here, and I'd like to open up for any sharing for the next 15 minutes if you can stay and unmute. A big part of being with community is being with community, and I want to let you know that we'll be doing this next week on Tuesday and Thursday at 9. Hi Kimmy. And also at 4:30 on Wednesday, we did our posture class. So I have all that coming to you. I should have my mic fixed by then and the sound will be better. I kept thinking it was there, so hopefully that worked today. So this has just forced me into technological know-how. This is the direction I want to go anyways, because I love it. I can see people from afar. So what I'd like to hear from a couple of you, you know, what are you actually feeling right now? Like, how did that unfold for you? What's really present in you right now? Because when you share, it really helps others to reflect a little bit more deeply. So if you're willing to unmute and say your name and where you're from, and just a little something about how this practice can serve you at this time of deep challenge. Kimmy, are we going to hear from you? I'm going to call on Kimmy. Kimmy's down in Salt Lake City. Can you unmute? Here, let's see if I can unmute you. Yes, I unmuted you. Nope, now you're still muted. Okay, well, I'll see what Shara's doing over in Kauai. Hey, Shara in the dark.
Hello.
Oh yeah, it's really early there. That's right.
It was perfect. 5 a.m. for me, so it was great.
Oh, good. How you feeling?
Hi, Rosemary.
Hi.
Hey, Lindy. Hi, Rosemary.
Hi. All right. It's good to see our friends near and far. So anything that came up for you in that practice? Body, your emotions, your mind?
I'm finding that I didn't realize how the places I was holding the tension. I thought I'm doing well, I'm going for walks, I'm pacing myself, and I am just a pile of knots. Because as we started moving, it was like, holy Jamal. And I think I'm holding so tightly and don't even recognize it. So this is so good to do this.
Yes, that is so true. I think that's, oh, thank you. Yes. Anybody else feel that too?
I did.
Yeah.
I feel so much more relaxed, so much more resilient, and so much more hopeful.
Yay. Good.
And Nancy,
Nancy.
at the point when you spoke about surrender, there was a lot of emotion, and the whole idea of being in a place of surrender is completely evocative. So thank you.
Huge, right? The surrender. Surrender, Dorothy. Rose.
I really appreciated your closing meditation where we were all swirling around the world, loving the planet and what she's going through now, and we're all going through together, and we're sort of that way of supporting one another, knowing we are not alone, but it's also not personal.
Yeah.
So I really appreciated that piece. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Yes, that was fun. Oh, great. Yes, the planet. We are very planetarily connected. I think this is one of the silver linings of all this, that it's not just one community. It's not just one state. It's not just one nation. It's our entire planet.
Yeah.
And we have needed this connection. It isn't coming around the way we imagined it to. But one of the keys to resilience is not, what is it? It's not having all the answers. We can't have all the answers. We're in this state of I don't know, which is actually a really healthy state to be able to be in a calm way. Like, I don't know. What are you doing tomorrow? I don't know. And you just trust that, right? And it's a huge, there's lots of awakening happening. And it's, again, it's probably not the way we would imagine this shift happening. We all know that we needed a shift on this planet. And sometimes it comes along in a little bit ruder way than we would expect. Jenny, how you doing?
I'm enjoying this. I think for me, yoga always is a way to blank my mind out of the other things that are racing through my head and to think about myself. And that sounds really selfish, but it feels good to spend that hour focusing on just what is my body doing and what is my mind doing. Used to be that the rest of the time I was too stressed out about work and my daily activities. Now I'm too stressed out about not working and not having daily activities. But either way, it's kind of an escape. Oh my gosh, and the best thing of all, I'm going to open this up. There's an instant of sunshine.
Yay!
Hey.
We need it. It was so dreary driving here this morning. I was like, oh, So that's
You're not last, but look at that. Oh, there it goes. Goodbye.
that was good. Yeah. And it's not selfish, because this is really, the more we can be in, this is what we can have some control over, is our container, our attitude, our thoughts, words, and actions. And that's it. And then everything that swirls around us is just what swirls around us. So I really liken it to being the eye in the middle of the storm, the calm in the chaos. And if we could do that, like it says, keep good company, like we can support each other in doing that, and just trusting that we're doing the best we can. We're doing the best we can, and we all have different ways of dealing with the challenges that are set before us. But at the same time, just taking, one day at a time. It's a great lesson. Kind of an interesting package.